In today's video, we are going to take a look at how to calculate the profitability, how to create the accounting for Amazon private label business. So let's get started. What we will learn in this video, we will see that how we can calculate the profitability of a single SKU in case you have one SKU or you are the only partner having multiple SKUs. And then we will see another condition, we will see another scenario where we will check if you have multiple SKUs and you want to treat each of them as a separate business, or you have multiple partners and you have multiple SKUs or SINs in your Amazon account. So let's get started. First, we will check, we will calculate that how you can create the profitability, how you can check the profitability, how much money you are making from your Amazon account if you have a single SKU or you are the only partner in the business. So you need to download a report, go to Amazon Seller Central and then reports, click payments, then click date range reports and generate the report. Let's see how it looks like. So here I am on the Seller Central on the first page. I will click reports and then payments, and then I will click on the date range reports tab. Then I will click generate report. Next, I will see a window like this. So for the first scenario, I have to click summary, not the transaction report. If you have a single business, if you have a single SKU or you are the only partner, then click summary report. Select your date range. Maybe you are calculating the profit for 1 month or for 1 quarter or for the whole year. So select your desired range and click generate report. Now you have to wait few minutes. Amazon will prepare the report for you, and after that you can download it. The report looks like something like this. This is a report and it's a summary report. It's from 1st January 2022 till 1st September 22, and the total income on this account was about 13,334. If you want to see the details of income, here they are. You can see the product sales are 12,000, refunds are 400, all the details, A to Z claims, each and everything is mentioned here, and the net adjusted amount is reflected here. Next, the details of fees. So the details are Amazon fees, Amazon storage fees, Amazon referral fees, each and every fees. The details are summarized here. So the net amount is 12,000 and something, and it's reflected here. Next is the tax. If you have paid any tax on this account, it will also reflect here. Note the amount is 0 here because this is Amazon US account, and in US there is no sales tax liability on the seller. So Amazon deducted 900 and something from the customer and paid to the government. So we are not liable for anything regarding the sales tax here. So the amount is 0 here. Next are the transfers. So transfer means the amount that Amazon transferred to your bank account. So here are the details. Total transfers were 1600 and something, failed transfer was 0, reimbursed to Amazon gift card balance was 0, and charges to credit card were 342. So the net amount was 13,551. This is what it looked like. So in the nutshell, we can say that we generated 13,000 sales, paid in Amazon fees and expenses 12,000, and Amazon transferred us about 1,300. So this is the revenue that we generated from the Amazon for this account. 2 points to be noted here, that your inventory costs are not included, are not accounted for in this report. So you have to do that manually. And the credit card charges that the Amazon deducted from your card are reflected here. It could be for the advertising, it could be for subscription fees, whatever. So any credit card charges are accounted for in this report. So it was pretty simple if you have only one SKU or you are the only partner. Now the difference between the single SKU and multiple SKU is that you have to select the summary if you have only single SKU, and you have to select the transaction option if you are going to account for the multiple SKUs. Next, you have to download the advertising reports. We will see where you can download it. You can go to advertising dashboard or campaign manager, then click billing and payments, select billing and select your desired date range. 2 points to be noted here that inventory costs are not included in this report and credit card charges are not accounted for in this report, unlike the summary report. So if you have paid using your debit or credit card for the Amazon PPC and or the advertising, it will not reflect in this report. So let's take a look at how this report looks like. Here is a report, and you might see some extra data beyond this column. I have already deleted the extra rows here. So first we have date, then settlement, order type, order ID, SKU, description, quantity, each and everything regarding your orders, and each and everything that changes some balance in your account is listed here. You can go to data and click filter, and then you can see the description here. There is cost of advertising, FBA, disposal, each and everything is here. So we will discuss it one by one. Now we will create a pivot table, and with these values, filters, rows, and columns. So I'll show you the one I have created. Click insert and click pivot table. It will automatically select all of the data, and you have to click OK. Here is a pivot table, and you have to add the columns here, add the data here. So I have already added all those fields here that I have mentioned. Filters, in the filters you have to put the SKU. So here is SKU, you have to drag it and put in the filters list. So I have already arranged them to save the time. All these columns data has been populated already. So we will discuss how to calculate the profitability from here. There are two types of transactions here. One, those are linked with any SKU, and those who are not linked with any SKU. So the transactions that are linked with SKUs are sales, refunds, Amazon fees, taxes, VAT, etc. So let's take a look on this. I'm showing you from the raw data here. I will filter it by SKU, and I will select SKU 12. Now in the description, we can see only the title here. So the sales are showing here. If I remove the SKU and click blanks only, so these are the transactions that are not related to any SKU. This includes cost of advertising. Of course, each SKU or each SIN has advertising budget and cost, so we will account it separately. I will tell you later how to do that. Subscription fee account, Amazon account subscription fees. So in this report, you cannot relate the professional fees, Amazon professional fees, with any of the SKUs or SIMs. FBA storage fees, in this report, you cannot relate the storage fees most of the times, not always, most of the times with any SKU. Then there are some transfers and FBA disposal fees. So let's check it through the pivot table. I'll click filter, and I'll select the blank. So non-subscription adjustment fees. So it totals about $28 here. Then there is FB inventory fees. It includes disposal fees and storage fees. So the details are not given in this report. I will show you how to account for each and every piece here. So let's stay with me for a while. We will start accounting them one by one. So here is the template that I have set up. So it starts with the revenue, then it accounts for the goods sold, then Amazon charges, then other charges, and at the end PPC, and then it deducts the revenue deducts the cost from the revenue and calculates the profit. So let's start from the top. We will start with those transactions that relate to any SKU. So I will go to the pivot table and select SKU 12. I have renamed the SKU name here. So I have selected the SKU 12 here. So the quantity is 572 and the refunds were 8. So 572 minus 8 is equal to 564. So you only have to edit the colored columns here. The the cells with these color, you only have to edit those cells. You don't have to edit anything else here, or you can edit the comments. I have 564 here from this data. Then the product sales. So the product sales were 14, 24, and 17 were the refunds. So the net amount is 1406. So net amount I have placed here 1406. So the subtotal is the same. Then there is tax amount. So sales tax, sum of product sales tax. So the total sales tax is 281 here. So here it goes 281. So the gross revenue is sales revenue plus tax is equal to 1688. We have two main fees here. The first one is selling on Amazon fees, and the second one is FBA fees. 271 and 516. 271 and 516 both goes here. Okay. I don't like to place the inventory cost here because I account them separately in the business accounting sheet. So if you like, you can place your per unit cost here. So let's say my per unit cost was $1 per SKU. The total cost for 564 unit, if each unit costs $1 is 564. So if each unit costs 0.5, then 282. So I would rather not account the inventory cost here. So I will place 0 here. If you want to, you can do that. Okay. So I have put the FBA fees and the selling fees here, adjustment fees. If there are any adjustment fees, you can put it here, but there are no adjustment fees for this SKU. So I will continue. So the total Amazon fees was automatically calculated at 787. Okay. Next we have total other charges. So I will expand these costs here. We have marketplace withheld tax. So for the marketplace withheld tax, I will go for SKU 12 here again, and after the FBA fees, we have sum of other transaction fee, that is 0. Then we have sum of marketplace withheld tax. Okay, so it is 285. So here it goes. Then we have promotional rebates. Here they go, 80.51. So here they are. Next we have promotional rebate tax. The tax on the promotional rebates was 16. So we place this here. Then we have postage credits. So note that all the costs were in negative, but these credits are in positive figure. So I have put it as a positive figure here, and all the costs as negative figure here. So the postage credits are 104 that we have received from Amazon instead of paying. Then we have the tax credits on the postage or shipping fees, 21. So here it goes. And that's all for the SKU based costs that are associated with any single SKU. Next, we have common charges or shared charges. Let's see what are the shared charges here. So I will click filter and select the blank, those that are not associated with any SKU. So here we have non-subscription fee adjustment. It equals to 28. So subscription fee, FB inventory fees. I will create a row for this non-subscription fees adjustment. So I will insert here and I will select non-subscription fees, and the amount is about 28. So how do we account for this 28? Let's say I have 2 SKUs. So what I will do here is, if there is any formula or any base to adjust this fee, in the proportionate amount, I will do that. And if I don't have anything like that, I will divide them. I will divide these fees or costs equally. So the total cost here is about 28.26. So I have two SKUs. So I will place 28.26 divided by 2. So for this SKU, I am charging about 14.31 here. Note that it's a cost, so I will place a negative sign here. So it shall include like a cost. Then we have FBA inventory fees. Okay. For the FBA inventory fees, the details are disposal fees and storage fees. I will show you how to account for the storage fees because one of your SKU or SIN might be taking a lot of space and causing you to incur larger fees, higher fees than the SKUs that don't have any inventory or have lower inventories. So to reflect the correct amounts, we have two options here. Like all the costs that are not associated with any SKU, you can divide them equally. You can divide the storage fees equally if the amount is very nominal. Okay. But if the amount is higher, the amount is bigger, like in this scenario, what you have to do is you have to go to Amazon Seller Central and download the report. Let me show you. Go to Seller Central, click Amazon Fulfillment Report, and then click Monthly Storage Fee under the payments. Or you can click this link directly to open the Reporting Central. Now you will notice that the charges that we have in this report here may not, these charges may not be equal to the charges that you have just downloaded from this report. Let me show you the report here. This is the monthly storage fee report. Okay. So the total charges are, this is storage rate, estimated storage fees. So if I will select all, the total charges are 135.908. So if the charges do not match, you can filter this. If the charge is not met, you can calculate using the ratio. So how to calculate the ratio? Let's say I have two SNs and I want to select or calculate the ratio for this one be XX. Okay, so for the X SN, what I have to do is filter this SN first. Let me select this. Okay, then see how much the charges are for this SN. The total charges for this session only are about 66.79. So I will write here 66.79, and the total charges were 135.90. So the ratio will be SN X charges divided by total charges. The ratio is about 4914%, 49%. Okay. So what I will do here is I will go to this report and select the total charges here. The total charges are 134.54. So I will do here is 134.54. The actual charges in this report, in the date range report that we have got from the date range report, multiply by 0.49. 49 was the ratio of 49%. So for this session, the ratio is the actual storage charges are 65. Okay, but if the charges are the same that you get from the date range report and this monthly storage report, then you can use actual charges. So this is how we account for the storage charges here. Then we have cost of advertising. We will take a look at it later in this video. Then we have subscription charges. We will divide it equally. So I have two SKUs in this example. So for the professional fees, what I will do here is equal to 26.25 divided by 2. So we have the subscription fee. Yeah. So the total common charges are 93 here. Now let's account for the advertising costs. You have to download the advertising invoices from Campaign Manager. Go to Campaign Manager, click here, then click Billing. and you will see the invoices here. Select your desired range to filter out the invoices that are not needed. Now click download button that corresponds with each invoice. Accounting for advertising costs. Please note that in the date range reports data that we have downloaded here, let me show you. In this data, you see advertising costs, and for these advertising costs, they are delayed for about 14 days. In this report, these advertising costs reflect the costs that were deducted from your Amazon account balance. So mostly they are delayed for about 14 days. Okay, they are and they do not represent the up-to-date data. They also do not include any charges that were deducted from your credit or debit card. So that's why we do not rely on these figures here. Instead, we go to the PPC invoices and download those. So we do not use the date range reports to account for the PPC cost, and we do not use the Amazon advertising dashboard data because it does not completely reflects or corresponds with the date range report data. We download the data from the PPC invoices. PPC invoices, as I have already explained, are delayed for and do have delayed data. So what we will do here is we will create a separate data sheet to calculate the PPC charges for each SKU. We take total charges of the portfolio and other campaigns that are not part of any portfolio. For example, the sponsored display or any separate portfolios like zero budget portfolios. Let me show you how the invoices look like. Here I have downloaded the invoices here. We have two invoices here. The first one is from 2nd August and the other one is on 21st August. So let me show you. Here are the details of the portfolio, and I have highlighted the ASIN for which we are accounting for, and we are checking its PPC cost. So this SKU12 has charges of about 134.34 GBP here or USD here. Then I have a separate portfolio for this ASIN in which I put the campaigns that I don't want to give any budget to. So I call it zero budget portfolio. So I have placed few campaigns that have zero budget portfolio, but because the data is 14 day delayed, it may show some charges here. So the charges for the invoice on 2nd August are 134 plus 170 GBP. Then I do advertise it using the Amazon display ad campaigns, display advertising. So the display data is not included. Amazon sponsored display campaigns are not included, cannot be included in any portfolio. So they show up separately. So for the 2nd August, I have total of three different charges here. One from the portfolio that relates to SKU12, another from the portfolio that has zero budget, and third one from Amazon display advertising or the display ads. So now I have to account for them. Here is a summary for this invoice. The total amount is about 848 and adjustments are zero. Total regularity fees is 5.51 and after tax amount is 514. So here is the template that I have created to account for the PPC costs. So now I am going to explain you that how I account for the PPC data. So first we have invoice date. We have two invoices here. So I have placed the date for both of them. Then we have SKUs, and this sheet supports up to 15 SKUs. You can add more by right clicking and click insert. Then you have to fill the data for each SKU here. For SKU12, we do have for the first invoice, we do have 134 plus 170 plus 7.9. You have to put the data here. Okay. The total for the for this SKU for the invoice that was charged on 2nd August. Then for the next invoice, you have to do the same. 386 plus 6.01. 386 plus 6.01 is equal to 392. Okay. If you have more invoices, you have to add the data. Then you have to repeat the same for all of the SKUs. Okay. Then we have total amount. So the total amount here should be equal to this amount, total amount billed. That excludes any VAT or tax amount, 480, 484. So here it goes, 484.84. Then we put the tax and regularity fees here. So the tax amount is 514.87 less 484.84. 30. We have about 30 GBP is the tax and 5.1 GBP is the regularity fee. So the tax amount here is 514.87 minus 8.84 less regularity fee is 5.51. So 24 is the tax amount here. So I have put 24.52 here. This minus this and this. Okay. So the regularity fee is 5.51 is here. Other charges. Okay. So the grand total automatically calculated is 5.14. So here it goes 514.87. This column will show error if the amounts from all the SKUs, total tax and other charges do not match. Okay. If the balance is above or less than zero, then you have any problem in the figure. So you have to fix them. Next, we have to repeat the same for each and every invoice. So for the next invoice, I have repeated the same details, and let me show you the summary here. The summary is 530 GBP, 500 is the billed amount, and let me show you 500 is the billed amount, tax is 25, other charges 5.6, and total 530. So here it goes 530. Now it will automatically calculate the total amount, the total charges, the total PPC charges here 536 for this SKU 12. Then it will automatically calculate the tax that was charged here on this SKU. Then automatically deduct the portion of the other charges or the regularity fees. 6.09 is the share of SKU 12 from these other charges, total 11.68, and then we do have a grand total of 569.80. So the total PPC charges for SKU 12 for this period are 569. And one thing you have to see that these grand totals have to match. I have placed an arrow here. So these totals correspond. It means that the total charges for this account for all the SKUs are 1045. It includes all the taxes and other charges, and it matches with the total amount here. These both figures must match, otherwise there is some issue or any amount left that you have not accounted for. So 569 is the total amount, or if we can say that without tax 536 and 33 is the tax. So let me show you. Here is the amount without tax and 33 is the tax. So the total PPC cost here is 570. It was automatically calculated. Then we do have total cost, which is the sum of all these costs, 1712, and then we do have is net profit or loss, that 1688 minus 1712. So we do have 23.69 here is the net profit for this SKU. So you have to repeat the same process for all the SKUs here. How to handle the non-English markets data, like for example Germany. So the procedure is the same. All you have to do is copy the headers of English market data, for example UK. Download the report from the UK, copy the headers and put it in the German report. Okay. Then what you have to do is replace the comma with dots, because in Germany they use comma instead of pointer or dot to represent the fractions. So replace the comma with dot and apply the same procedure for German market. Why don't we calculate the profitability using the SKU central data for quick profit and loss calculations? You can go to the SKU central and see the fees like this one. Okay, why don't I use this data? Because the sales data do not match with the date range report. If you check the data from the date range report and try to match it with the SKU central data, it will not match. The second thing is that PPC's complete data is not included. We do not have the sponsored display as cost included in the SKU central data. So that's why I don't use it. The fourth reason is that in date range report is based on the deductions from the account, while this SKU central data is based on the daily sales and cost. As I have already told you that the date range report data is delayed. The cost of the Amazon advertising show up after a few days when the actual charges are deducted from your account, not on the day when you have consumed those charges. So there is a difference in between them. So the SKU central is more alike of ads dashboard or campaign manager rather than data range report. So for the accuracy or the correct accounting, this data is not reliable. That's why I don't use this. Now you have calculated the profitability of the SKU, but it's not the profitability of your business. You might have other charges, you might have other costs or incomes that are not accounted for in this report. Okay, the report that I have shown you today, the profitability, it includes the data from the Amazon only. Okay, this is not your total business profitability report. The procedure explained previously will give you a figure about Amazon only, but you will need a complete picture of your business. Accounting from accounting for preliminary expenses. For example, samples costs you have paid, you might have paid for trademarks, you might have paid for patents or other costs are not accounted for in this report. So how do we calculate the overall business profitability here? So we do have a separate report here. I will show you in a while that how this report looks like. So you might have investments from the partners that you want to account for separately. Maybe you are investing 30% or 40 or 50. Another one of your partners is investing something and you want to keep a separate record of this investment. Maybe you want to calculate the profit and loss for each partner. So you can't do that in this sheet. The only benefit of the report that I showed you gives you how much you made from each SKU. We have not accounted for the inventory costs. Even the inventory costs were not included in this report. So how to maintain account for other business expenses? For example, VAT. We have not accounted for VAT in this report. We have not accounted for the taxes, for the accountant fees, for the lawyer fees. So in the total business report that I will just show you in a while, we will calculate each and every of these costs to show you the correct picture of your business. It will include a double entry accounting system to maintain a proper business ledger. It will maintain a proper business balance sheet that will classify your incomes, your expenses, your assets, each and everything, your capital. It will maintain a complete business balance sheet that conforms to the accounting standard. So let me show you how it looks like. So here is the business accounting and ledger sheet and reports that I was talking about. In this report, in this sheet, you will see that we have entries, we have double entry system and we have ledgers, and then we can filter out the accounts and see how much we have in each account. Let's see, if I want to see how much the preliminary expenses were, I'll select it and then press Control A, and then it will show me all the preliminary expense. So it's the preliminary expense account. If I want to see how much the partner A has invested, so I will select it and press Control A. Now I see the partner A has invested the cash and then withdrawn his profit on this date. So it's a complete P account or ledger account for partner A. Now I want to see the journal entries for all of the accounts. I will press Control Q and I do have all the entries for all the accounts. Then I have the list of accounts and their balances. So we do have these accounts, these 9 accounts here, and these are partner A's account, B's account, preliminary expenses, inventory, profit, cash, then how much debit balance they have, how much credit balance each account has. Then we have the net balance, then account type, quantity, if any account supports the quantity column. Then we do have a balance sheet here Basically, it's a pure table that is created from these entries. That may right click and refresh here. We do have asset side, then we do have a liability side. On the asset side, I do have cash, we do have inventory of 1800, we do have some preliminary expenses, and the grand total is 4400. Then on the liability side, we do have zero monthly expenses because we have already accounted for them. Then we do have profit zero. Then the equity of the partner A is 2300, equity of partner B is 2300. Then we do have a drawing account, and the net equity or the net balance of the liabilities or the capital side is 4400. That is equal to the asset side. So it's a complete system that you can use to manage your business. And I have created a complete tutorial on how to maintain and use this sheet that will show you each and every step that is required to maintain this sheet. And it's very easy. It's just as easy that any business owner can manage it by himself.